Hi, I'm Peggy,
And I'm Marci, and this is No More Bullshift.
where we turn why me into watch me.
Ready to shift? Let's go. Hi, Peggy.
Hi, Marci.
So today we have a mini episode, and we are going to talk about happy accidents.
Oh, I love a good happy accident.
Yes, and just kind of reframing when something initially happens that comes off as like not a good thing to like how it can kind of be the biggest blessing sometimes.
Yeah, and I think like as part of that, and we've talked a little bit about this in other episodes, but how is failure your friend? Mm-hmm. I think if we can reframe I'm even saying failure in air quotes because is anything truly a failure?
Exactly.
The only failure is when you stop.
Right.
When you don't
Right.
keep moving, there's
That's
no
right.
forward momentum.
Exactly.
And even, I don't know, then is that a pause? That's not even necessarily a failure. I don't know. But
Right.
kind of reframing, what is failure and how is it working for us and not against us? And just those happy accidents, those things that happen that feel like in the moment, they're the worst thing that could have ever happened.
Yes.
But then it's like this redirection that you're just like, oh, I'm so glad it worked out that way. I can't
Yes.
imagine had it worked out the other way.
Totally. Totally agree.
So, do you have an example of a happy accident in your life?
Okay. Well, the other day I took the challenge that we gave to everybody about making sure all day long everything is happening for you. It's all a gift. It's all a gift.
It's all working out in my favor.
100%. So it had been a great day as I just kept choosing that thought. And it was the evening, and two of my children have a credit card that they're co-signers on to build credit, but I pay for it every month. And I don't pay for drinks. I don't pay for Starbucks or Dunkin with like ice mocha like all that. Because here's the problem: my kids will drink like a quarter of it, which is great.
And
I don't want them to drink the whole thing. It's like sugar bomb, but I don't want to pay for the $9 drink and then you not drink it. I'm just like, have water. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, have a coffee at home, whatever. Anyways, so I was in the sauna and my youngest daughter, I was like looking at the card balances that, she had. And I was like, who went to this coffee shop and spent $9? And her and I both knew it's her. And she texted me back and said, I don't think I want your credit card anymore. It gives me anxiety. And normally my first thought in this conversation on text message would be like, I'm a terrible mother. I'm giving my daughter anxiety. But because of the challenge, my thought was, this is a gift. How is it working for you? It's all working for you. And so I texted her back and I said, thank you for letting me know. I do not mean to give you anxiety. How can we make this better? And she was like, Dad gives so-and-so, another one of our daughters, just X amount of money every month, and then she spends it as she wishes, but when it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. And I was like, okay. And so I said, like, how much is that? And she told me, and I was like, okay. And then I text the other daughter that has the credit card, and I said the same thing. I said, I'm just going to give you X amount of money a month, and then you spend it how you see fit, and then when it's gone, it's gone. But here's what's amazing with this whole equation. One, I am freeing up my brain power and my time because I don't have to micromanage the charges on the credit cards, period. That's amazing. Two, I'm going to teach them budgeting this way. They're going to learn, like, spend here, save here, whatever. And three, they're not going to have any anxiety or worry. But I just think it's just like the triple win. And actually, I'm going to probably be saving money, to be honest, because they both spent more than this allotted amount that we talked about. I don't think they listen to this podcast. It's okay. But that was the happy accident, because like I would have before felt really bad about that text message. But in reality, this is teaching all of us life lessons in a really good way.
Yeah, I think, we probably have so many happy accidents that happen. Like under pressure, like I'm sitting here going, wait, I don't know. What am I going to say? But life is a series of happy accidents.
Yes.
It's a series of course corrections, which is really what a happy accident is.
Absolutely.
It's like, we're going to move you from here to here. And, this happened with literal accident. I had this Volvo convertible, loved it. It was older. It was like a 2007, and it was just beautiful. It was navy blue, gorgeous interior, but it was older and it had a lot of miles on it. And I'm driving one day to meet friends for lunch at the holidays, and I'm in one lane, and somebody just decides they're going to turn right out of the left-hand lane as I'm going. And I mean, normally I'm great with reflexes to avoid it, but there was no avoiding it. Well, because of the age of my car and all of that, it gets totaled, which you think no big deal, it's just go get another one. Well, it was kind of a priceless accident because I had no car payment.
Yes.
And I can't just replace the car. Now I have to, figure out, like, are we coming up with several, tens of thousands of dollars for a new car? Or what are we doing here?
Right.
And so ended up, that car always had like mechanical issues and stuff because of the age of it, and ended up getting a new car that a year later, Sarah ended up, her car didn't work anymore. We were ready to go get another new car. And we had that extra car sitting there ready to give her. And it was reliable. It was ready to do all the things that it needed to do. It was just such a good, happy accident. But in the moment, it felt like a really big deal. But in the long run, that car's still going. She's got that car. There's no car payment. It relieves, the pressure off of her.
Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah.
So, and it was a used car when we bought it because, we don't like to carry car payments, and we just weren't prepared to replace a car at the moment when that accident happened. So, we went out and bought this car at a pretty low rate, and it was used with low mileage, and it's still going strong, which that Volvo never would have done.
Yeah.
We would have had to replace two cars at the same time when her car died.
Wow.
So it alleviated that. So it was a really nice, happy accident. Just a small thing, but
yeah, that's good.
It's one of those things that you couldn't think in the moment, like, this is awful. It's the holidays. I got to come up with all this money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is just about the reframing. Like, I know we gave the example in a different podcast. If you missed it, you could re-listen. But basically, like, one time when a client came in and I had forgotten to write the appointment down, and thankfully that doesn't happen often. But rather than spiral and be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to run late, or I have to cancel this person and find a different appointment for them, I was like, nope, this is going to work. I do this all the time, overlapping. And you can decide that this challenging situation or something you didn't quite expect is actually going to turn into a beautiful gift.
Because everything is always working out in your favor.
Exactly.
There are no accidents.
Right.
That's why they're happy.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
It feels like it in the moment, but if you can always look at it, that inconvenient thing, and we don't always do that. We get emotional. So I don't want to make it sound like every time something goes wrong for me, I'm like, oh, no big deal. It's a happy accident. I'm just going to roll with it. No, I'll get pissed. Like, I got the wrong meal, or my car, I don't know. I haven't had a car break down in a while. Okay, for Micah. Don't fail me now. But, you have these things, or you get lost, or you end up having an accident and you're already running late, and you have to get rerouted and all the things. And it's not that you don't get worked up in those moments, but you quickly reframe it.
Yes.
You more quickly say, okay, wait, when was the last time I had that was working out for my favor? This one's working out for my favor. So how quickly can we get into the habit of reframing it so the gift of the accident can come to us even sooner?
100%. Yes. And I think it's okay to process and feel that negative feelings and things, but I also feel like the more you can, like, train your brain to flip it or turn it to look like, this is good, it's going to be fine, reassure yourself, or like, why did this happen to you? I think it's so important, like, because that's the muscle you're, like, lifting the weights for, and that's the muscle that's going to get stronger. And then it will actually end up being easier, like, in the hard moments, versus, like, becoming that victim mentality, like, this is bad, and then this happened, and this happened. And it's like, no, work on the muscle that's going to bring in the beautiful, light, good, fun, happy world.
Absolutely. I just thought of another example. So my girlfriend always gets tickets for us to the Cincinnati Open down in Cincinnati. We're big tennis people. And she's got this great investment banker who always like hooks her up, and she's a great sharer. And so last year, everything changed because we went from it being the Western Southern Open to it being the Cincinnati Open, and we had new ownership of the facility and all of those things. So we were like, I don't know, are we going to get the bougie tickets we normally get, which included the hospitality tent and really great seats down on center court? So we're like, I don't know what's going to happen here. Oh, and we were always jockeying because she would only get so many. And then we would have her mother-in-law, her father-in-law, our kids, our spouses, and we'd have like 4 passes. So then we're always like, how are we going to get everybody into the hospitality tent?
Yes.
We got to like Jimmy this and like all the things, right? So it's hilarious. We're always like trading off in all of these things. So last summer, she's like talking to her investment banker. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to have the tickets. I don't know. And I don't know if they're going to be as good. And she's like, oh, well, I don't know. We kind of count on that. And she kind of like threatened. She's funny. She didn't really threaten him, but she did threaten him that, well, I may have to move my money then.
Right. Self-threat. I'm really here for the tennis ticks.
And I'm like, this guy's making you so much money. You're going to move because he couldn't get you the bougie tickets. But anyway, he's like, okay, so I'm going to do my best, but I don't know. So she's telling me, she's like, I don't think we've got good tickets. She said, I've got these tickets. They don't look good. I don't know. So we go into it fully prepared for this to be crap, for us to not even like have hospitality tent tickets, right? Like we're just lucky if we've got center court and they're not terrible. No. These were the best tickets.
Oh, I love that.
So we get there, and I'm like, she'd given me the parking pass, and we had tons of them. So she gives me the parking pass, and we drove separately, and Caroline and I pull in, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're like right up to the door. What in the world? Where are we parking? And because normally you have to like walk. It's like 15-minute walk to get in there. And then we get in, and Jamie's like, you're not going to believe this. We're like, no, we've got hospitality tent tickets. I'm like, okay, great. She's like, no. We're in the air-conditioned seats, and it was like the hottest day of the summer.
Wow.
We're in the air-conditioned seat, front row, hanging over center court.
Wow.
Full buffet meal.
Oh, my
Like
gosh.
open bar, nice bougie open bar, china, food. You couldn't, and like we can see both sides of the court, stadium court, center court, elevator up to it. I mean, it couldn't have been better. But the whole time, this guy like didn't even realize these tickets were this good. Like he had prepared us for really crappy tickets.
Yes.
And we were just like, all right, whatever happens, happens here. We're just going to roll with it.
Yes.
And it ended up being the best tickets we could have possibly have gotten.
Awesome.
So we could have been like miserable or like, I'm not even going to go because these are going to be bad tickets and it's the hottest day of the year. I don't want to go sweat all day out in the hot sun with no shade and the whole 9 yards. Let's just skip it today. It's not worth it. And instead we're like, well, whatever happens, happens. We'll make the best of it.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, it was the very best we could have gotten.
That is so great. I love that.
Yeah.
It's a good example.
Yeah. So why do you think reframing is so important? What does it matter? Like, we can do it the easy way. We can do it the hard way. If we're in alignment, in theory, aren't we just going to get what we want anyway? Like, why is it important?
I just think it makes the journey better and lighter and more fun. And I think it's just going to make life more enjoyable. And I honestly think in a lot of ways it'll bring even more blessings and great things to you.
Yeah, I think I think what it does is it helps us release fear.
Yeah, it's good.
We sit so paralyzed in the fear of it not working out, of it going wrong, of the humiliation of that, or maybe there is like some financial risk involved, or losing face, whatever it is.
Right.
And so it paralyzes us from taking action.
Right.
The fear of the failure, the fear of things going wrong.
Yes.
And I love this clip. Again, going back to a tennis thing. I love Roger Federer. He's like the GOAT. He's amazing, such a class act. And I'm sure some of you may have seen this clip of him giving a keynote speech at a college graduation. And he shares his stats. And he said, I have won 80% of the matches I've played, which, I mean, he's world number one.
Yeah.
Like, holds the record, world number one for men. So, of course, he has a very high winning percentage. He said, I've only won 54% of the points I played.
Wow.
So when you think about that, when you think about the margin of mental acuity he had to have
Yes.
in those matches, how easily that shift could happen.
Right.
If you were to wallow in the points that he lost, because he lost,
Yeah.
what is that, 46% of the points he played.
Yes.
And so if every time he lost that point, he sat there and he's had that negative self-talk and he said to himself, you're a piece of shit. Oh my God, how could you hit that ball there? You know better. You train harder than that.
Right.
Oh my God. Okay, don't double fault. You just double faulted. Don't double fault. Don't double fault. So
Yeah.
what are you going to do? You're going to double fault instead of saying, this is what he said. He's like, when I play that point is the most important point in that moment.
Wow.
And when I lose that point, I go, it's just a point. Next
Wow.
point.
He's got that muscle down pat.
Down pat. And he goes, I go into the next point. That's now the most important point. If I lose that point, okay, well, that was, they hit a great shot. They hit a great winner on me. Great job. Okay,
Yeah.
reset. Next point. He's like, I don't think about that. I don't dwell in the past.
That's amazing.
I don't look to the future. I am in the point I am playing.
Wow.
And a 4% margin made me the most winningest male tennis player
Wow.
ever.
That's amazing.
Right?
That's amazing.
When you
Yeah.
look at that, when you look at how many times he failed
Yeah.
in a match,
Right.
but still won it.
And had the confidence to just keep going. He was, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he didn't get down in the dumps when he would lose. He would, because his head game was strong.
Yeah, and he didn't fall into the pattern of, well, it's hot. That's why I'm losing this match.
Yeah.
If it wasn't so hot, if only they would put a cover on this court. And you hear players say that all the time, though. Like, I'm losing because they don't have a cover on this court. How can I play in 100-degree temps for
Right.
3 hours straight? Nobody can expect that of me.
Yes, no excuses, no victim mode.
Nothing.
It was just, and staying present in this little step.
Present.
And then the next little step.
The next step. And the next step.
That's right.
And if I can just stay focused on the step in front of me, the moment I'm in, not the one that just happened, not the one that's coming, but this one moment is the most important I'm in. Okay, that one didn't work out. Next one, no big deal.
Right.
I have another moment. It's not over till it's over.
Right. Don't get into the weeds or the drama.
Right. And do you think he lost matches? He only won 80% of his matches. He still lost 20% of the matches he played.
Sure.
He didn't let those derail him. He was a scientist. So he said, what did that failure teach me? What did I learn when I lost that match? Because
That's
we analyze the failure way more than we analyze the success.
True.
We sit and analyze and think and overthink what happened when I failed. And when we can find the lessons and we can pull those out and we can say, okay, that didn't work. Let's pivot. Next one.
Yeah.
Next one. Let's pivot. They're a gift. Failure is lucky if you
Yes.
can have the right mindset.
Exactly. No, I think that's right. That's that happy accident vibe.
Yeah, completely. And when we are
Yeah.
in the month of luck,
Yeah.
think about how that supercharges your manifestations.
Yes.
Because just because you're in alignment, just because you're authentic with what it is, just because you believe and you have trust and you know future you has it, doesn't mean you're not going to have some failures along the
Right.
way, some bumps, some redirections, some happy accidents.
Some chances for growth.
Yeah, you have to, because that's part of it.
Yes.
That's the gift.
That is a part of the journey.
Yeah.
And I think if you're afraid to fail or afraid to try, it's just going to hold you back. You
Yeah.
know, like you need to just keep putting it out there.
There are so many examples of late in life successes
True.
that failed. They're late in life because they were busy failing early in life to get to that point. And these people are billionaires now
Right.
because they didn't give up.
Right.
They just kept saying, okay, that one didn't work.
Yes.
I'm going to keep going.
Yes. And didn't let the failure define them. Didn't get like bogged down with the title of something didn't work out.
Yeah, I was just reading this book. It's called Jump by this author, Kim Perell. And she actually has another book called How Mistakes Made Me Millions or something like that.
Love.
And as a young woman, she was part of a startup company, like in her 20s, right out of college. She was this is during like the dot-com boom. And she's making money left and right. And she gets all of her friends involved in this startup company. And so they're all there and they're like living the high life because, it's like booming until it didn't, until it failed.
Yeah.
All of them lost their jobs. All of them lost their money.
Wow.
She felt very responsible for all of the friends that lost. And I think she might have been an investor in the startup. I that part I'm a little fuzzy on.
Yeah.
So she was like paralyzed. And she was like, I cannot believe not only myself, but everybody, my close, and she lost friends. They blamed her, the whole 9 yards. And she said she sat around and was like licking her wounds.
Sure.
And then she got an idea.
Yes.
And she was about 23, 24. She gets this idea. And she's like, digital marketing seems like a good idea. Should I start a digital marketing company? And she's coming off this giant failure of what just happened in this dot-com industry. And she's like, I don't know. I feel like this is big. And she followed that lead and she followed that nudge.
Wow.
She sold that company before she was 30 years old for $230 million.
Wow.
Went on to work for that company as their CEO. And she got a nudge. And the nudge said, go do this next thing. And I forget what the next thing was. She's a billionaire now.
Nice.
She's an angel investor. She talks to women about how to start their own business. She invests in their businesses for them. She's paying it forward. She never saw that in her early 20s. Even when she built that company that she sold for $230 million, she never saw the lasting impact, that failure, that ability to help women pivot, the gift that gave her in talking to women and going, I know your fear because I did it. I've been there. I bottomed out. I hit rock bottom.
Right.
And now look at me now. What I've done.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you just never know what the gift is in it. You just have to trust there is a gift and keep going.
That's right. Yes. No, I think that's good. I think that's a good place to stop for this mini.
Any challenge on this one?
I feel like in a mini, what do you think?
So one thing she said that really created risk tolerance in her home growing up. Her father was also an entrepreneur. And he would say they would sit around the table every night and they would share one failure story and they would try to one-up each other.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Where was a failure or a happy accident or a mistake that happened today? And so it carries into their lives now where they'll share these like things and they try to outdo each other. Like, no, you're not going to believe what happened to me today. And then they tell their story and then the other one's like, no, I've got you beat. And she actually shared this story where she had a really bad day, and I forget what it was. Like, she was developing a product or something, and she didn't get the patent she needed on it. Like, everything went wrong. The funding didn't come in. Like, it was a really bad day. And she's like, there's no way my dad's going to beat me. Like, happy about it. Like, there's no way he is beating me after I tell him this story. So she tells him this story, and he goes, oh, no, I got you beat. And she's like, what do you mean? And he goes, I couldn't make payroll today, and I need a loan from you to make this happen. And she was like, you're right, you win. Damn it. Okay, here's a check. And she said, and he got, back on it, like he righted the wrong and he moved on and whatever. She said, but what that taught me was this very high level of risk tolerance. I had no fear of failure because it was so normalized.
Yeah, that's nice.
As a part of just daily life.
Yes. Yeah.
And so maybe the challenge is look for a perceived failure or happy accident that happens this week and reframe it.
I love it.
Find how that actually is working for you instead of against you.
I love that. That's good. That's kind of simple, and just one.
Just one. Just prove to yourself this. And now maybe make that a daily practice where you're just like, oh, life didn't end.
Right.
And actually, I learned something from this. And it's a stepping stone to the next place I need to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like it.
Start to normalize that. I can remember doing that with Caroline. She did not lose enough on the court when she was little. She was very mentally tough. when she was younger, and she just had a lot of tennis acuity. And so I kept putting her in tournaments she would lose in. Like I would put her in like tournaments that were above her level because I wanted to normalize loss for her, because I wanted her to not have a fear of failure, a fear of loss.
That's good.
But it wasn't working. It wasn't
She
working.
just kept winning.
Because she's just such a competitive spirit. And so, this is before she hit puberty. So she had no fear of failure. Like it didn't even occur to her other people were like watching what she was doing.
Yeah.
And so I can remember saying to her after every match, you need to tell me what went wrong. I need you to share with me where things went wrong on the court today.
Yes.
And I need you to tell me where you failed on the court, even though you won the match. Where did it not work out when you wanted it to work out? Because I needed her to get comfortable with mistakes. I needed her to see they can happen and it's still going to be okay.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, very fun. Okay.
Yes.
So you guys have your challenge. You've got this.
Yes,
Good luck.
You've got this.
Okay, that's our shift for today. If this resonated, please share it with a friend.
Help us grow. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen.
And connect with us at No More Bullshift on Instagram and YouTube.
And remember, if you can't laugh about it,
You probably still need to shift it.